Well, Apple's reportedly planning to announce a new lineup of products in early 2026. Bloomberg says this includes a low-end iPhone 17e, updated iPads, refreshed MacBook Pros and Airs, and a new external Mac monitor. The news comes as some analysts call for CEO Tim Cook to step down amid concerns over the company's slowing growth and product delays. Joining us now is Craig Moffett, MoffettNathanson, founder and senior managing director, Dominic Rizzo, T. Rowe Price, Global Technology Fund portfolio manager. Let's be clear, this is Walter Piecyk over at Lightshed Partners. I spoke to him on Fast Money a couple nights ago when his note came out. And Craig, I'm just wondering, because you've been a bear on Apple for quite some time. It's been a great call. Apple stock is down 15% so far this year. Is the answer to get a new CEO?
Good morning, Melissa. No, look, probably not. I mean, look, let's step back for a second. Tim Cook has presided over a 15-fold increase in Apple's stock price. He's trying to fill the shoes of the person who is broadly regarded as the greatest CEO in history. So those are big shoes to fill. That's obviously a pretty tough compare. But he has been an extraordinarily successful CEO. You hear all the arguments about he's a process guy, he's not a product guy, and that sort of thing. Perhaps that's true, but they have been extraordinarily good at process, and it's generated a huge amount of value. And I don't know that you can look to the CEO as some kind of messiah who's going to generate the next product idea by himself. What Apple is struggling because, number one, they are struggling with an answer to AI. But number two, they have a lot of macro headwinds against them, like tariffs, at a time that they're trying to manufacture in China. Tim Cook started 10 years ago to try to transition that to India, so it's not like he's been caught entirely flat-footed. It's just these are hard problems to solve, that's all.
Yeah, Dom, I'm curious what your thoughts are. You are underweight, I believe, in your portfolio, Apple, relative to some of the other Mag 7 stocks. So what causes your hesitancy? And maybe it is no surprise that Apple wouldn't fare as well in this environment as, say, a Meta, which has had an unbelievable performance this year relative to the group. Since Apple is a hardware manufacturer, it does face a lot of these threats that others do not.
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me, guys. It's great to see you. When I look at Apple, I really have a balanced approach here. On the positive side, just look at how much time you spend on your screen every day. It is still the most important product in the world, the iPhone. We also have wonderful unified memory architecture on the silicon side, which theoretically is great for AI. Now, Craig made a great point, though. The reason Apple's struggling, frankly, is because they're nowhere in AI software today. And that's why we're underweight across all of my strategies. When I look at the AI software that Apple's delivered, it's really disappointed on every level, whether it's small language models, large language models, Siri, AI on device. And I think they need to make some fairly drastic changes on the AI side to get that upgrade cycle back, which is elongated to one of the longest levels ever. So I actually think they have to go turn around and make some acquisitions to make this work. Maybe something like a Perplexity could solve some of their problems.
Craig, is the only answer an in-house AI solution, or can it be the best delivery system for AI software that it licenses or partners with another company?
Well, I think it can theoretically be either one. But here's the problem, Melissa, and I don't hear this enough. And Don made a great point. Look, to believe in Apple stock, and again, you called me an Apple bear. I'm not an Apple bear. I think very highly of the company. I just think it's a very overvalued stock. That's all. And I think they face some secular challenges that are not reflected in the stock price. Part of that is the market is discounting an extraordinary acceleration in the upgrade cycle, right? Remember, go back to last year's WWDC when the stock price ran up because everybody thought, here comes AI, and AI is going to require 8 gigabytes of memory. It's going to require a neural processor. And that means that everybody with a phone that's earlier than an iPhone 15 Pro is going to have to upgrade their handset, and that's going to be a giant cycle, and it's going to be perpetuity and blah, 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 blah. If you go off the device and you choose a solution that's in the cloud, that will work. It may give up something on privacy, although you can probably run it on Apple hardware and Apple data centers. You can probably win the privacy argument. But if you take it off the device, you've given up the argument for why there's an upgrade cycle. And so I think you have to step back and say, okay, no one's arguing here that Apple customers are going to switch to Android. That's not the issue. The issue is, what is it that's going to drive an upgrade cycle and a permanent acceleration in the rate at which we upgrade phones, such that you can work your way into a 28 times multiple and a PEG ratio that's right now almost 2.5 times.
Yeah.
Apple is reportedly planning a major product refresh for early 2026, including a budget iPhone 17, new iPads, MacBook Pros and Airs, and even a new external display. But Wall Street isn't buying the hype. And now, some are even calling for CEO Tim Cook to step down. Let's be clear, Tim Cook isn't just anyone. Under his leadership, Apple stock rose 15x. But critics argue he's a process guy, not a product visionary. And that's becoming a problem in the AI era. Apple has the hardware, elite chips, strong devices, but on software, especially AI, they're behind. Siri hasn't devolved, and their on-device AI efforts lack the punch of rivals like Meta or Google. That lag is now hitting the upgrade cycle. People aren't rushing to buy the next iPhone because the features aren't evolving fast enough. Last year, markets rallied on hopes that AI would drive upgrades. That didn't happen, and if Apple shifts AI to the cloud for better performance, it loses the privacy advantage that defines its brand. Plus, it kills the reason to buy a new iPhone. Analysts like Craig Moffett say it's not just about leadership, it's valuation. Apple trades at a premium, but growth is stalling. AI leadership is unclear, and macro headwinds like tariffs and China exposure haven't gone away. Cook did start shifting manufacturing to India, but these are long-term problems. Bottom line, Apple's brand remains dominant, but unless it makes real AI moves, potentially through M&A like acquiring Perplexity, and sparks a real upgrade cycle, the stock may stay under pressure. Investors want vision, not just process.